Alrighty folks, well, good morning and welcome to beautiful Skagway, Alaska. And as you can see, the weather took a turn for the worse compared to Juneau. It's a little bit colder, about 10 to 15 degrees cooler. Got some rain, sleet, just a pretty nasty day here in Alaska, but that's not going to slow us down. So to be totally honest, this was Sam and I's probably most looked forward to stop along this entire trip. So Sam's going to tell you why.
So today we get to go on the White Pass Scenic Railway. We did this 2019 when we were here and we loved it, so we're doing it again and we can't wait to see all the views today.
So a little bit of information about this railway. We obviously board it here in Skagway after we get off the boat, and it's going to take us all the way into the Yukon Territory in Canada. There's no stops. You literally get on the train, head out this mountain pass, probably a few thousand feet, and just check out some of the incredible scenery along the way. Hopefully the weather, calms down a little bit outside. I'm sure it's a little bit foggy up top on some of these mountain passes, but yeah, it should be a really awesome day. And then after we get off the train, we're gonna go check out some of the local breweries. I think Skagway Brewery was one of our favorites last time we were here in Skagway. So yeah, a lot to look forward to. What else? Anything?
No, just follow along with us. We'll take you on the train today and then into town later.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you in town. Alrighty folks, well, welcome back to yet another installment of our Alaskan vlog. This is part number 5. I'm Bill, and this is Maksim Outdoors. So, if you missed last week's episode, we did a little hiking and exploring down in the Alaskan capital of Juneau, and now we are heading further north to the small town of Skagway. So, if you aren't already, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. We're officially heading to Glacier Bay National Park next week, and you won't want to miss it. Alright, so in this episode, we will be showing you the best of the best when it comes to Skagway, Alaska. We'll be showing you one of the most scenic and beautiful railroads in the world as we climb up thousands of feet to the top of mountain ridges with the White Pass Railway. After descending, we'll take you to the heart of Skagway and show you this amazing little town built on the back of one of the largest gold rushes in American history. And here we are, at the start of a new day filled with some amazing adventures and memories in Alaska. So, while cruising through Alaska, you'll never have to look far for some amazing views. Here's just a few of the sights along the way as we headed north to Skagway. So, one thing that I failed to mention in the previous episodes, and is just a little bit important, was the time of the year that we went on this trip. So, this was a late April cruise, and you might be wondering, isn't that a little early for Alaska? So, it turns out that this was just the second cruise of the year to Alaska for the Norwegian Bliss. Now, of course, every season will have its high points and low points. Like in the fall season, you'll have the best opportunities to view wildlife like whale and bear. In the summer months, you'll have the most excursions to choose from, and in the winter, well, you won't really have a choice to go. But here on this trip in the early spring, you'll get the full feel of Alaska, including the weather, the seclusion, experiencing the towns before they are totally overrun by tourists, and some amazing snow-capped mountains along the way. Just wait until next week when I show you Glacier Bay National Park. You won't want to miss it. And then the boat began to slow down as we arrived at our next port, Skagway. Once again, the intercom announced we arrived, and we headed off the Bliss to the town known as the Gateway to the Klondike. And just like we did last week in Juneau, Here's a few fun facts about Skagway. Number 1, it's known as the Sunshine Capital of Alaska, receiving just 27 inches of precipitation a year. And to bring that into perspective, New York City gets around 46 inches per year. Number 2, the year-round population of Skagway is only 920 residents. And to bring this into perspective, the boat that we're on, the Norwegian Bliss, carries over 4,000. Next on the list, Skagway is famous for its gold rush in the late 19th century. So back in those days, the town boasted a population of nearly 12,000 looking to strike it rich. On a bit of a sad note, but mind-blowing fact, is during those same gold rush days, over 60,000 folks died while trying to reach the Klondike goldfields. And lastly, Skagway's original name was actually Skagwa, which means home of the north wind. So, enough talk about Skagway, let's head to the railroad. So we quickly disembarked the boat, and thanks to staying in the haven once again, we are one of the first few off the Bliss. We made the short walk over to the train depot before boarding the White Pass Railway. Good, how are you?
Well, thanks.
You look very warm in your t-shirt.
Yeah.
We're all freezing.
It gets hot quick when you're running around this car.
Yeah, no. Thanks. We even lucked out and got the last car on the train, which provided us with some spectacular views along the way. After boarding and around a half an hour later, the conductor announced the all aboard and we were off. Alright, so as the train rolls along here, I'll share some of the information on Skagway's biggest attraction, the White Pass Railway. The train takes you along the historic Klondike route to the Yukon. The train ascends nearly 3,000 feet above sea level as you head up to White Pass. You'll see everything from giant waterfalls, tunnels, bridges, and remnants from the gold rush days. As the train gained elevation, we were greeted with countless waterfalls, a cemetery, and some amazing breathtaking mountain views along the way. So as we gained elevation, the clouds seemed to get closer and closer until we were totally engulfed within. Wow. That is sketchy.
Yep.
Get a picture?
Oh,
Right, you're good. That's terrifying. All that ice. Imagine having to come chip it up. It's probably somebody's full-time job. Wow. So if you were curious, here's a quick glance at the overall route of the White Pass Railway. On this trip, however, we'd only be traveling around halfway on this historic route. We'd briefly enter British Columbia before being rerouted back down to Skagway. Yeah. It was worth it. $20. Things are crazy. We are. Around 20 miles and an hour and a half later, we arrived at our furthest point, which was White Pass, at an elevation of 2,888 feet. It seemed like we were at the top of Mount Everest, with snowpacks higher than the terrain itself. We passed over the Canadian border for a brief moment before heading around the roundabout to make our descent back to Skagway.
Oh, yeah.
So here's just a few more views as we headed back down the mountain. I hope you all enjoy. Oh yeah, it takes time.
Oh, man, yeah. And he lets me know.
Alrighty, well hopefully you all enjoyed our little excursion along the White Pass Railway. So we've been fortunate enough to have done this excursion twice now, and we will say this: you could ride this train 100 times and each and every experience would be totally different from the last. And as you can tell already, we highly recommend this ride. So we bid adieu to the White Pass Railway and made our way to town. Skagway is just about as quirky as a town of 900 can get. built on the back of the gold rush and brothels. Take an hour or so to wander around town, check out some of the local shops, and try out one of the local breweries. Here's a few of the views around town. And some honorable mentions if you ever find yourself in Skagway. First off, we highly recommend Skagway Brewing Company. They have a huge selection of craft beers ranging from blondes to porters, but our favorite was their food menu. Their Alaskan sandwich was nothing short of amazing. And second on our list, just a few blocks away, is yet another brewing company. This is Klondike Brewing Company, and as you guessed, another great spot for beer. Their sours are amazing, and the overall feel of this brewery is just awesome. So make sure to check them out if you're ever in Skagway. And lastly, as you probably guessed, no trip to Skagway would be complete without visiting the infamous Red Onion Saloon. Built all the way back in 1897, it used to be a classy dance hall, saloon, and brothel during the height of the gold rush, but nowadays you can still get a drink here or even go on a brothel tour. And your visit here wouldn't be complete until you tried a reindeer fart. And just like that, our day in Skagway was over. We made the short walk back to the Bliss, all while taking in some amazing views. Once back on board, we tried out a new restaurant for the night, known as La Cucina, and it was the perfect way to end our day. And after dinner, we made an attempt to watch the sunset on Sally's patio, but the wind and rain had other ideas for us. And that wraps up our day in Skagway. Alrighty folks, well here is the end of day number 4 on our Alaskan cruise. We have made it back here to the Haven Suite, and it was a pretty eventful day, wouldn't you say?
Very eventful.
So
We are definitely toughed out.
yeah, we're gonna need a vacation from a vacation after this vacation. So we did a little bit of everything, from checking out the town of Skagway to heading up White Pass on the White Pass Railway, checking out some local scenery, bars, breweries, and everything along the way that I'm sure you guys all seen in the video already. But yeah, what an excellent day. Couldn't really ask for anything better. We had some crappy weather today. It was a little bit rainy, a little bit sleety, colder than Juneau, but yeah. What was your favorite part of the day?
Well, the weather was basic Alaska weather. Just be prepared for the cloudy, rainy weather when you come here. But my favorite part of the day was surely the train ride. It's absolutely phenomenal. You get to go all the way up. I think it took us about 3 hours from start to finish. You basically go all the way up, and then you spin around, you come back down. So no matter what side of the train you're on, you get to see both ends of it, which I think is incredible. Don't have a favorite side. I like them both. Bill stayed out on the back end most of the time, and endured the windy, chilly weather.
It was worth it.
But we definitely enjoyed it. And then we got some time in town to check out all of the bars, the breweries, and everything else.
But yeah, if you do come to Skagway, I think the most popular excursion you can do is the White Pass Railway. So highly recommend it. This was the second time we've done it, and total polar opposites of the last time. So the last time we did it, so the last time we did it was around Memorial Day back in 2019. No clouds, very little snow, 100% visibility. And this time around, total opposite, a ton of snow, like literally 15-foot high snowbanks, avalanches. It was literally snowing at the top of the peak. And yeah, just an incredible experience. Highly recommend it. And yeah.
Well, I mean, I talked to the conductor, and literally if we were a week earlier, we wouldn't have been able to go as far as we went. I'm sure Bill will put a cute little map up for you guys, but basically there's a section and you can go like halfway, and then what they do is they take off the engine, bring it all the way back around, and put it on basically the back of the train, and that becomes the front, and they take you back down the mountain. We were lucky enough that we can go all the way up and then back down on their loop. So literally within a week, time difference, all of that changes because of the snow clearing.
But yeah, so that's going to wrap up day number 4 here from the beautiful Norwegian Bliss. Hopefully you guys enjoyed coming along with us, checking out Skagway. Absolutely amazing little town here in Alaska. And tomorrow we are heading to none other than Glacier Bay National Park. We're going to be just hanging out and floating around all day. So that video will be coming out next week. And we hope to see you there. Hopefully we did a good job at portraying Skagway. And if you aren't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below.
Leave us a bunch of comments. Let us know what you'd like to see in the future. If you have any questions.
Give us a like. It helps out the videos get pushed into the algorithm. And also check us out on Facebook and Instagram. All right, folks. We will see you back here in Alaska next week. Sam and Bill signing out. This is Maksim Outdoors.